In a development that has sent shockwaves across the political landscape of South Africa, investigators conducting a search of the residence of controversial public figure Michael Sandlana reportedly uncovered a series of items that are now at the center of an escalating national debate. According to emerging reports, the discovery has raised urgent questions about political influence, transparency, and the integrity of powerful networks operating behind the scenes. If you value independent reporting and in-depth political analysis, subscribe to the channel and follow this story as it continues to unfold. The search, which reportedly took place earlier this week, was conducted as part of a broader investigation that authorities say is examining potential links between influential figures and alleged irregular activities. While officials have been cautious about releasing full details, sources familiar with the investigation suggest that several items discovered during the search may hold significant relevance to ongoing inquiries. These reported findings have quickly captured public attention, not only because of what may have been uncovered but also because of what the discovery could reveal about deeper political dynamics within the country. Michael Sandlana has, for some time, remained a polarizing figure in South African public discourse. Known for his outspoken commentary and alleged connections to controversial political developments, his name has frequently surfaced in discussions surrounding accountability and influence within powerful circles. However, the latest revelations appear to mark a turning point. According to sources close to the investigation, authorities examining Sandlana's residence allegedly discovered documents, digital storage devices, and other materials that may contain sensitive information. While the precise contents of these items have not yet been confirmed publicly, reports suggest investigators are analyzing whether they contain evidence related to ongoing political or financial investigations. Officials have emphasized that the inquiry is still in its early stages and that no conclusions should be drawn until all evidence has been thoroughly examined. Nevertheless, the mere suggestion that potentially significant materials were discovered has ignited widespread debate across the country. Political analysts say the situation reflects a growing tension within South Africa's political environment, where calls for transparency and accountability have intensified in recent years. Citizens, civil society organizations, and political commentators have increasingly demanded stronger oversight of those who hold influence in public life. Now, with reports of secretive items allegedly discovered in Sandlana's home, many are asking whether this investigation could expose broader networks or hidden relationships that have long remained outside the public eye. Members of the public reacted swiftly as news of the discovery spread through media outlets and online platforms. Some commentators have expressed outrage, arguing that the situation underscores the need for deeper institutional reforms and stronger investigative powers to ensure that no individual is beyond scrutiny. Others have urged caution, emphasizing the importance of allowing legal processes to unfold without rushing to judgment. Across television debates, radio discussions, and online forums, one central question continues to dominate the national conversation: what exactly was found, and what does it mean for the future of South African politics? Government officials have so far remained measured in their response. Representatives from investigative authorities have confirmed that materials were seized during the search but have declined to specify their contents while forensic analysis is underway. According to statements released by officials, investigators are working carefully to determine whether the items are connected to any ongoing cases. Forensic teams typically examine digital devices, documents, and financial records in detail before determining whether they can be used as evidence in court. If any materials are deemed relevant to potential violations of the law, authorities may then consider further investigative steps. Until that process is complete, the full significance of the reported discovery remains uncertain. However, the political implications are already becoming clear. Opposition voices have seized on the moment to renew calls for transparency and stronger oversight mechanisms. Some analysts suggest that the case could further intensify scrutiny of political networks and relationships that have long been debated in South African public life. At the same time, figures within the governing establishment have urged restraint, emphasizing the need to avoid speculation while the investigation continues. Observers say the situation highlights the delicate balance between public accountability and legal fairness in high-profile political investigations. South Africa has faced numerous moments in recent history where allegations involving prominent individuals have sparked national debate. Each time, the public has been reminded of the importance of strong institutions capable of investigating claims thoroughly and impartially. Reports indicate that investigators are particularly interested in determining whether the materials discovered in Sandlana's residence could shed light on previously unanswered questions surrounding political influence and decision-making processes. If confirmed, such findings could have far-reaching implications. Some analysts suggest the investigation could potentially reveal information about how political alliances operate behind closed doors. Others believe the focus may ultimately shift toward financial records or communications that could provide insight into relationships between influential figures. At this stage, however, these possibilities remain part of an ongoing investigation rather than established fact. Public attention has also turned toward the broader political environment in which this controversy is unfolding. Under the leadership of Cyril Ramaphosa, the South African government has repeatedly emphasized its commitment to strengthening accountability and combating corruption. Over the past several years, various investigative bodies have been tasked with examining allegations involving both public officials and private actors. Supporters of these efforts argue that the search of Sandlana's residence demonstrates that investigative institutions are continuing to pursue leads wherever they may lead. Critics, however, say the situation illustrates just how complex and deeply rooted political controversies can become. As details remain limited, the national conversation has increasingly focused on what happens next. Legal analysts note that several possible paths could follow the discovery. If investigators determine that the seized materials contain evidence relevant to ongoing cases, authorities may pursue additional questioning, requests for documentation, or other procedural steps. In some circumstances, such findings could eventually lead to formal legal proceedings. In others, investigators may determine that the materials simply provide context rather than direct evidence. Either outcome would have significant implications for the political narrative surrounding the case.